Okay, so here's the review for Marriage Boot Camp, reality edition. I don't know what season, but episode 1 of the new season. And I decided I was going to review this show. One, because I watch it and I really like it, most of it. We'll get to that. Um, but they have some people on here that I really love. This season they have Renee Graziano, who I absolutely love from Mob Wives. She was always one of my favorites, even when she was straight wilding out, because she was just so fucking hood. She's just a fucking thug and unapologetic, and I love it. Like, her and Drita were my favorites. Actually, um, um, my other girl, Sammy the Bull's daughter, she was fucking hood too, but she had to grow on me. But we're not going back to my wives. Um, so it's her and her sisters. They're coming on the show to try to resolve some of the issues that they have, and some things have already kind of sort of been revealed. Renee's the baby, and there's a big age gap in them, and so they see things differently. They see their childhood differently. Renee always portrays her childhood as perfect, and she was the little princess, and they got everything they wanted, and she makes all of the excuses for her dad and how things went with him legally. And again, I'm not going to get into that and rehash all that, but her view has always been, my dad did what he did, he was great, he was the best, and just misunderstood. So I think that's going to be their big conflict. It's just how they get along as sisters when they see their life and how they grew up really differently. Then you have Jim Jones, Chrissy, and Mama Jones, and again, it's a couple I really love. Going all the way back, I didn't watch a lot of Love and Hip Hop when they were on there, but I did, kind of follow their story a little bit. And I love Chrissy. I just love her. I love her personality. I love her, just her flavor and just how she roll. I just love her. I love Jim Jones. He, ain't nobody perfect, but I love what they show us. And Mama Jones is just hilarious. Like, she's just funny as shit. Um, then we have Amber and her family. Now, they're from Teen Mom, I think it is. I've never watched one day of Teen Mom in my life. Not a second, a minute, millisecond. The whole premise is over my head, and I don't know anything about the show. But what I do know is that I don't like Amber's ass. She get on my fucking nerves, and she gonna get it before it's over, I think. We'll get to that as well too. And then we have Brandy Glanville and her dad. Can't stand Brandy. Have disliked Brandy from her days on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Recently, she was on Celebrity Big Brother. The same thing. She's just very antagonistic. I hate people, and I used to be one of these people. So I'm speaking from experience. I hate people who make the equivalency between keeping it real and being rude. You can be honest. You can keep it real with people. You can even be blunt. But you don't have the right to be rude. You don't have the right to be nasty. And that's what Brandy is. And she writes it off as, I'm just real. My mouth just gets me in trouble. That's just who I am. But you're fucking 40-something years old. And at this point, grow the fuck up. And like I said, I used to be one of those people. Growing up, it was like, I'm just real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. And then you get in the real and realize that keeping it real ain't always, Dave Chappelle had that famous skit, when keeping it real goes wrong. Yeah. And so sometimes keeping it real goes wrong. So Brandy gets on my nerves, but she's good TV. So with that being said, those are the 4 families that they're going to be dealing with this season. And they all had their own issues. I mean, Chrissy, Jim issue is the mama, the whole role of the mama. Now, Jim is a mama's boy, point blank period. He's a mama's boy. He ain't gonna stop being a mama's boy. Like, that leopard ain't changing those spots. And all he wants is for his mama and Chrissy, his fiance for life, to come to an understanding that basically, let's just agree to disagree. Let's just figure out how we're going to coexist and get along, because ain't neither one of y'all going anywhere. And that's just the attitude he has. Like, he's over it. He's over the arguing. He's over just being in the middle and the refereeing. And he's like, I just want us to get to a point where we can resolve issues before it turns into a full-out fight. Just before it gets to that point. That's where he's coming from. Chrissy's coming from the point of view of, I need you to understand who I am, what my role is, and respect it. Mama Jones is like, look, that's my son. I ain't going nowhere, so deal with it. I don't know what kind of conclusion. I don't know where we're going with that. Because they've been doing this for 17 years, and I just don't know where that's going. now. Move, or however many years. I think they said 17, but let's move on. Now, this Amber chick, who has already rubbed my last nerve in the first episode, she's on there with her mom and her boyfriend. Now, the mom slurs her words. I don't know if she has remnants or residuals of a really bad addiction, or she's still somewhere, because she's slurring her words. You can't hardly understand her, and then sometimes she's very clear. So I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not gonna put nothing on nobody, but they did admit that there was addiction in the past, and Amber did sort of open up about the fact that there was some issues in the past with her addiction and so forth. So that's going to come out. It's going to be a little more to that story. Now, as far as the boyfriend is concerned, I don't even understand why the fuck he's there. Because in the first 5 minutes, Amber says that he's relapsed, so he's back on drugs. He's a liar. He's cheated on her. He steals money from her, and she alludes to physical abuse. What the fuck we working out? Why is he there? Why do you want to work anything out with him? So we're gonna see where that goes. And he admits, well, he admitted the relapse. And he admitted the lying. Like, he lied to her about how many kids he had. Like, it's some shit you just can't lie about. Like, I'll accept the fact that you have kids. I might even accept the fact that you have a lot of kids, but you gotta be honest about that shit. How the fuck you gonna lie to me about how many kids you have? Like, what kind of shit is that? And when I find out that you lied, guess where you going? Bye. Deuces. So we're gonna see where that goes. And then Brandy's issue with her dad is that she feels like her dad is not proud of her, and that she said they've always had conflicts, which I can believe, because she probably always had that fucking mouth. And what sort of comes out in the first episode is that her dad was sort of a hippie. He grew up sort of free love, walking around the house nude, that kind of thing. But he has a problem with who she has become, what the type of celebrity she has become. He doesn't like the Playboy thing, like her being provocative and the fake boobs and all of the plastic surgery, and he doesn't like that about her. He doesn't like that thing. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. And he said, he's ashamed of it. And you can see that she pretty much just bust out crying when he said that. And I felt for her in that moment, because nobody wants to hear that their parents are ashamed of them. Like, who wants to hear that? And so they're there, and I think there's some I think they definitely, out of all of the couples, situations, I should say, because they're not all couples, I think they definitely have probably the potential to grow the most. Because he loves her. They're not having the issue of, I hate you, this is my daughter, she's been a horrible daughter. It's just, I don't like the way she's choosing to live her life. And he still likes the ex-husband, which, if you're not familiar with their story, the ex-husband cheated very publicly, cheated on her and dumped her. And she's very bitter about it. And she's been very clear that she's been very bitter. And, he said, I just want her to be able to get along with her ex-husband and keep the kids out of it. And that's what he said. He said, yes, I talked to the ex-husband because I don't see the problem with it. And I don't see why they can't figure out a way to get along for the sake of the children. Which is true and very mature, very adult of him. So I think they have the potential for me to come to the most resolution. Then I would say the sisters, Renee and her sisters, because I think they just need to accept that they have different views and point of views on things, because they're sisters. They fight, they argue, but you can tell they love each other. You can tell they have a bond, but they're sisters. And it is the first episode, so it might be deeper than that, but we're going to find that out. And I think next would be Jim Jones and Chrissy and Mama Jones, because they've just been doing this dance forever. I don't know. But the last would be Amber, because first of all, Amber crazy as shit. She's a ticking time bomb. All she want to do is yell and go off. Like, again, the same thing I said about Beauty Bar with V. She has decided to be the villain. Like, she was going off before, like Chrissy said, before the cushions even got warm. She ain't here, like, wilding out. And there was a point, this is the part I want to talk about. There was a point where she went at Jim Jones, because Jim made a comment about reality TV basically not being real. Oh, what he say that for? Oh, what the fuck you talking about? I'm as real as it gets. I've been on reality TV for 10 years. Like, she's going off. He was like, so, the minute she started yelling at Jim, Chrissy was like, ho, 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 pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Because, Chrissy don't play that. Chrissy don't play that with her baby, with her boo, her man. She don't fucking play that. And at the end of the day, it's not gonna be pretty, and that's not what you want. Maybe on your show, like I said, I ain't never seen your show. So maybe on your show, you used to doing all of that and popping off and people scared of you or they let you get away with that. But please know, Chrissy ain't the one. And the other thing is that Chrissy and Renee are friends. Again, if you didn't look at Mob Wise, you don't necessarily know all of this. But Renee was like a stylist back in the day, and she was in hip hop. And she was like, she's friends with like Redman and like all these people. And she used to style a lot of these New York rappers back in the day. So she knows them and she's friends with them. So her and Chrissy are friends. Like they've known each other for years. So again, not only do you not want that from Chrissy, you don't want it from Jim. I mean, Jim ain't gonna hit no girl, but you don't want it from Jim. Don't want it from Renee. And then if Renee jump in, you don't want it from her sisters. Because like I said, at the end of the day, they sisters. So you might want to pump your brakes and go sit down somewhere. But yeah, she went at Jim and they had to break them up because Chrissy was like, if you come over here, it's going to be different. Like, you don't want none of this. She tried to tell her. And then, so Jim broke it up and they all was calming down and they brought them back together. And she was like, I apologize. You know, I'm real embarrassed that I let myself get off like that. I apologize. And, you know, Jim was like, it's all right. It's whatever. Here go Chrissy. I don't accept your apology. So then she going to get mad again. And Chrissy was like, you can't make me accept your apology because I think it's fugazi. It's not real. Like, you don't fly off the handle that quick. And now all of a sudden, it's a show, so it probably took longer than 5 minutes. But for the purposes of the show, 5 minutes later, now you sorry? Nah, fuck that. Like, no, I don't accept your apology. You're going to have to show me that this was just an anomaly. This is not who you really are. And that's going to be that. So she's getting ready to get mad again, and the doctors were like, whoa. You have to accept that. You can't make somebody accept your apology. Matter of fact, I don't even think it was the doctors. It was somebody else in the room, and I don't remember who it was now, but they were like, you can't. And she was like, you right. All right, you right. So they calmed back down, and they were doing this exercise called show and tell, where they were all like, it was like in an elementary school, and like the little desk with the name tags and the little book bags and stuff, and each one of them had to go up there and like, the doctors had given them a symbol of like something that represented them. And you had to kind of guess the connection. So like, for example, Renee went first and she had a backbone. She had a brain. And he was like, what do you think that means? And she was like, my sisters don't think I'm very smart. And she said, admittedly in my life, I've made some really bad decisions. I've made bad decisions with men. I've, been an addict. I've, had job issues. So I get it. She was like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not dumb, but I kind of get where it's coming from. And they just went down the line. For Matt, that's Amber's boyfriend, the one that admitted to stealing and all that other stuff. They had just a desk full of worms. And he was like, I guess I'm just slimy. I guess I'm just wormy, So, like, it was all connected to kind of give you that insight. So it kind of gave you a little bit, I ain't going to run down everybody, but it kind of gave you a little insight as to what everybody sort of was bringing to the table. Jim had a bib because they trying to say he's a mama's boy. His mama had a baby with the umbilical cord still connected to it. Chrissy had a sash that said runner up. Maybe I am going to run down all of them. Anyway, Chrissy had a sash that said runner up. I don't forget what the fuck Amber had. I don't even care. But a couple of observations, and then I'm away because I'm looking forward to the season. Sometimes the doctors be getting on my nerves because sometimes I think they be doing a little too much, but I get it to a certain extent. So of course they went to the rooms. If you've seen this show before, they always hate the rooms because the rooms cut deep to the real issue or their interpretation of it. And Amber's issue was a baby's room, which I didn't get that. I really didn't get the. Maybe because she's teen mom, I don't know. I didn't get that. But the one thing I didn't like was that they had pill bottles and stuff laying around in their room and bottles of alcohol, like the little miniatures. And I'm like, if her mom is a recovering addict, Amber's a recovering addict, and the boyfriend's supposed to be a recovering addict but fell off the wagon, I don't understand the method behind that madness. Now, I don't have no PhD behind my name yet. But I don't really get that one. So maybe that'll come to pass later on, because of course that's where the episode ended, with them going in their rooms and Amber's flipping off again, talking about, I'm not fucking staying here, I'm out, I'm not sleeping in no baby bed, So we're gonna see where it goes. Like I said, I'm kind of hyped out. Well, not hyped, I ain't that hyped about it, but I'm looking forward to the season. I think it's going to be good. Like I said, I love Renee. I love Chrissy. Amber is she's gonna be good for TV. Brandy's always good for some TV. The other observation, I'm gonna keep an eye on Amber and her dad because both of them seem to have the same issue. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever seen anything Brandy's been on, she love her some wine. She love her alcohol. On Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, they just a whole montage of her drinking and getting drunk and all the things she did when she got drunk and how she would drink up all the wine in the house. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because her dad, he seemed to be loving the wine too. So I wonder if that's an issue they have in common. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out. And there we go. So hope to see you guys next week. Thank you.